These gang members shot a man in the face as he played football with his friends. Sharn Miles and Ty Blake shot James Teer in the face at point-blank range as he played football in the street with his friends. The motive for the murder started a week before, after Sharn Miles had a row with a rival group in a nightclub in Birmingham. James Teer was not present. On the day of the murder, there had been a confrontation between Sharn Miles and another man, and James Teer had been with that other man. Sharn Miles and Ty Blake then went to rob a car that would be used in the murder with the help of Lauren Malin. A woman's house was burgled and the keys to her BMW were stolen. They added false plates to the vehicle and then went to look for revenge. They came across James Teer playing football in a street in Erdington. The BMW pulled up. Miles was the driver and Blake in the passenger seat. Blake walked up to James and shot him in the head twice. The kickback of the first shot hit Blake in the nose and made him bleed. The killers fled the scene, and 20 minutes later, they appeared to have not a care in the world as they ordered chicken and chips from a takeaway as James Teer bled out and was pronounced dead at the scene by paramedics. In the early hours of the following morning, police found the BMW used in the drive-by shooting abandoned in Small Heath. There was a bloody tissue inside the car, which returned a DNA match to Blake, and officers arrested him 6 days later. Miles fled the country through Dover shortly after the killing, but was arrested 5 days later when he returned to the UK. In court, they would both attempt to blame each other for being the gunman. Miles claimed that Blake was the gunman, and that Blake shot James Teer, and Blake claimed Miles was the one who had the weapon. The car was later examined, and DNA matching Miles was found on the steering wheel. DNA matching Blake was found on the blood-stained tissues on the passenger side of the car after his nose was bleeding from the kickback of the gun. Ty Blake was found guilty of murder and sentenced to life in prison with a minimum term of 32 years. Sharn Miles was also found guilty of murder and sentenced to life in prison with a minimum term of 32 years. Lauren Malin was handed a 2-year prison sentence, which was suspended for 2 years for her involvement in the burglary of the murder car. Follow the page and leave a comment on any other criminal cases you'd like to see on the channel.